connecting to your Exchange server at your office, or if you're on a hosted Exchange server also, you actually have a website which is like a version of Outlook that's displayed through a web page, and that's connected right to your server. That's been in Exchange for all the way back to Exchange 5.5, so anybody with an Exchange server does have this, and anybody can access it as long as they're allowed. You don't have to do anything special to set up someone to get to web access. All they'll need is the website address, their network username, and their network password. And I'll give some, some examples and show how Outlook Web Access works in a little bit. Actually, show some of the new features in the Outlook Web Access with Exchange 2007. Now, remote workers that need access to their files, that can be done pretty simply. And the way to do that is with offline files. And I'll start by talking about, just where your files are normally saved. It's been a recommendation in most other IT companies' recommendations for a long time that users don't save any of their files on their local computer. The reason being, one, that's, believe it or not, less secure because workstations don't have the level of security settings that servers can have. Also, if the files are stored on your local workstation, they're not going to be backed up. Very important because usually most people that are on the go are dealing with very important information that's critical to the agency that does need to be backed up. So all desktop versions of Microsoft operating systems, 2000, XP, and Vista, they all have the ability to, kind of trick them or change them and have their My Documents folder actually be sitting on the server. So even though if a user saves to My Documents, it's not on their own local computer, it's on the server. And then you can turn on a feature called offline files. And what that does is, that makes, kind of a copy on your local computer of everything on the server, and it keeps them in sync. So when the user disconnects from the network and takes their laptop on the go with them, you're able to open those files just like they were sitting there on your local computer, edit them, do whatever you want, and then as soon as you connect back to the network or you connect to your VPN, those files will sync back to the server automatically. So it's the best of both worlds. The files are sitting on the server where they can be properly secured and backed up, but then the user has access to them even if they're not connected to the network. Forms on the go, that's kind of a new thing that some agencies are just starting to realize that's out there and embrace. And using the right tools or programs, you can actually take any kind of form that you have, whether it be paper or electronic. If it's a piece of paper, you'll scan it in, and then import it into one of these programs, be it either Microsoft Office OneNote, which is a nice little note-taking program that's part of Microsoft Office and most common on tablet PCs, or another program called OmniForm. And what that'll do is that'll actually take your paper form, put it in an electronic format so it can actually be stepped through and filled out just as if it were, any other form on a website or in one of the programs you're used to. You can even have these forms electronically signed, which is a very, very nice feature. If you have a tablet PC, you've got the writing capabilities already. You can also get little external USB writing pads. They're pretty inexpensive, and plug those into the computer and then have the customer or whoever sign that form. Then that does bind it. So I talked about tablet PCs a little bit. For those of you that I've come out and met with, you'll know that I carry a tablet PC with me. And some of the reasons for that are they're smaller, lighter, and usually a lot better battery life than a standard laptop. I actually have a second battery on my tablet PC that looks like a laptop stand, and on full charge for both batteries, I typically get about 6 hours of battery life when I'm working away full. I have my screen set to dim and turn off the wireless and those kind of things. And in a typical day, I can have this thing turn on for 12 hours without actually having to have it plugged in because of the power saving features and the good battery life. But some other things to think about for a tablet that can really benefit workers when they're on the go is it can make meetings with your clients seem more personal. You don't have that laptop screen that it seems like you're hiding behind and you're just typing away and the customer doesn't know if you're paying attention to them or not. You can fold this tablet PC down, and the screen will then face up when the lid's closed, and it essentially looks like a writing pad. It does have the touchscreen with the writing stylus to make your meeting notes just taken in by handwriting. This is primarily what producers that have tablet PCs and what we use as well do. They do again come with that Microsoft OneNote program, which is great for note taking. So your tablet is then essentially an electronic yellow pad. The benefits to that, though, is you can search through anything that you've got in that handwriting, or if it's text. Because I don't know how many times we've tried to look through, a yellow pad from a year ago, trying to find some specific notes, and it can be very difficult to find. But the tablet PCs and the Microsoft OneNote program are intelligent to the point where it can read your handwriting, and you can do just simple searches like you could with email. And it'll find all instances in all your different notebooks and sections that may match that. And you can even convert the handwriting to text. You can just do that by a simple copy and paste. Most programs can take that and just turn it right into text. The most typical programs like all the Microsoft Outlook, Word, Excel, and most other programs will do that too. So you don't have to worry about your handwriting not being legible. It'll automatically convert it. Now, if you're like me, where you're on the go and you're in a hurry and you're just scratching on your tablet real quick, the handwriting can be kind of sloppy. But they do actually come with handwriting coaches too. And what it has you do is, copy down simple phrases and sentences that they put on the screen, and it helps it learn your handwriting, just like speech recognition software would be trained to learn the way you talk. This trained to turn the way you write. A nice, easy tool for kind of bringing a lot of these things together that we've talked about is called Remote Workplace or Remote Web Workplace. And this is actually a website that's built into small business servers. It's in Small Business Server 2003, and there's one like it in 2008 as well, which is the new version that's just come out. And it's another web page that people would access from the outside. But what this does is this kind of bring all those resources together. You can set this up to give your users access with just a click to your Outlook Web Access, which again is that website that is a mirror copy of Outlook, which connects you to your email. You can actually make it be able to connect through your terminal server with a click through this website too. You can access your SharePoint, which is your intranet program you may be running, and even file access. And it's all through one central location. Again, it comes built into your small business server. Usually most agencies don't access it because they don't really know it's there. It is easy to set up user access. It's just one or two clicks in that website by your administrator, just granting access to your certain users. Then all they need is to remember one web address. There's no more remembering different addresses for your SharePoint, for your web access, then the IP addresses for your terminal server, and remembering where files are and such. So it makes it easier for your users on the go, keeping everything in one central place. Again, that can too be accessed over the VPN, because everything we talk about really is going to be best accessed over the VPN for best security. There's another program out there called Microsoft Office Groove. For anybody that's been in any of our presentations, you might have heard mention of it. And that's a program that you can buy separately from Microsoft or from different vendors, or you can actually get as part of the Microsoft Office, the Enterprise Edition. And what it is it's basically a workspace sharing and collaboration tool. A little bit like SharePoint, but it's a program rather than a website. I'll actually give you a demo of how it works in just a minute here. It can always keep your files up to date, no matter if you have an internet connection or not. All members in the in the different web space or the part of Groove that are accessing these files are always seeing the same thing. You can always see when they're online. You can make all your edits to your programs while you're offline, and then as soon as you connect, they're updated. Now, what happens if you and Bob at the office are both editing the one file at the same time, but you're disconnected? Because I did say as soon as you're done working, it uploads your changes to everybody. Well, it's smart enough to